And we're back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dark Phoenix Gaming, and welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect Legendary Edition with Vin Shepard. So, last time we left off, we went on a Geth hunting extravaganza, wiping out a bunch of Geth outposts over in the Voyager cluster, and also getting some data on the Geth's evolution, as it were, and they drove the Quarians off their homeworld, and we gave a copy of that data to Tali to help her complete her pilgrimage. And today, we're actually going to be going off and completing a side quest that we just sort of ended up finding, because I accidentally went to the wrong cluster at first last time. That being Besieged Base here, which is the Kaka system of the Hades Gamma cluster, where we have some biotic fanatics that have taken over a medical station and drugged a bunch of researchers to use as human shields. Admiral Hackett called us up on Space Skype to ask that we help out with that, since he could just send a normal team to deal with it, but a lot of the scientists would probably die. The hope being that us doing it will avoid that. And as you saw right there, we were on the Citadel because I actually went over to the Citadel to do some shopping. We still haven't found any better armor for Shepard than what we're currently wearing, but I finally managed to get the pistol and sniper rifle. Well, Spectre gear. So we have what's effectively the best weapons in the game. Although I think there might have been a pistol or sniper rifle that did more damage, and we're taking Rex and Tali, by the way. I think there might have been one of the two that we could get something that did more damage, but it either recharged slower or something. Also, it was really fucking expensive. Like, 500,000 credits compared to the 200,000 or something that we spent on each of the Spectre weapons. Which, yeah, is a lot, but it's not 500,000. Anyways. I do actually have a strategy in mind for dealing with these biotic fanatics. Just because, at least in my past experience, your party members are not very good at not killing the innocent people. Even the ones who don't have weapons or skills that do tons of AoE damage just sometimes fall victim to the kill the innocent people on accident thing. Take down the terrorists, but remember to check your targets. As they're so addled, they'll wander right in the middle of a firefight. That's right, they will. So, what we are going to do is that. You two can just stay in cover over here. And I'm gonna have to assault for this. Yeah, that's the strategy, is I'm gonna have to take them myself. which is
I'm on.
less than ideal, to be sure, but it does mean I have a lot more control in terms of the actual dynamics of the fight. And as you can see, having a much better gun like this helps. Evolution of humanity, he says. Not so much, I'm afraid. Okay, we have a scientist over there. I can two-shot these guys with my sniper rifle. We've cleared the facility. All the civilians are safe. They're still chattering to themselves and screaming at the garbage cans. Evolution of humanity, huh? Those biotics didn't seem that different from the other scum you deal with. Okay. Holster my weapon. Actually,
Metagel deployed.
yeah, first we'll use our metagel. And that was an incredibly short mission. We just got to report back to Admiral Hackett and let him know what went down. Yeah. But if we'd taken Tally or Rex in there with that, we probably would have ended up with like 1 or 2 civilian casualties, which it might not sound that bad, and it's not like we would have gotten penalized for it or anything, I don't think. But I just wanted to save everybody if I could. That's really all there is to it. Anyways, let's see what Hackett has to say.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
I didn't think it could be done, Commander. You managed to secure the base and neutralize the biotics without a single civilian casualty.
Just doing my job, Admiral. I couldn't let innocent lives be lost.
I wish every soldier had your definition of...
But then we wouldn't be special, and amazing, and
You're a
incredible.
credit to the uniform,
And I like being all those
You're in your
things.
debt. Fifth fleet out.
Okay. Now, I said I was just gonna do that West this mission and 24 Paragons, but I didn't expect it to be so short that we wouldn't even hit the 10-minute mark. So, I'm going to take a brief minute and read some of the codex entries that we picked up. There's only a small handful, so there's not going to be enough for their own episode, I don't think. Planetary assaults. Planetary assaults are complicated if the target is a habitable garden world. The attackers cannot approach the defenders straight on. The Citadel conventions prohibit the use of large kinetic impactors against habitable worlds. In a straight-on attack, any misses plow into the planet behind the defending fleet. The defenders position themselves between the attackers and the planet. They can fire at will, while the attacker risks hitting the planet. Successful assaults on garden worlds hinge upon up-to-date intelligence. Attackers need to determine where the enemy's defenses are so they may approach from an angle that allows them to fire with no danger of collateral damage. Note this is not necessary for hostile worlds. Once control of orbit has been lost, defensive garrisons disperse into the wilderness. An enemy with orbital superiority can bombard surface forces with impunity. The best option for defenders is to hide and collect reconnaissance in anticipation of relief forces. Given the size of a planet, it is impractical to garrison entire conquered worlds. Fortunately, colonization efforts tend to focus on building up a dozen or fewer areas. Ground forces occupy the spaceports, industrial facilities, and major population centers. The wilderness is patrolled by unmanned aerial vehicles and satellite reconnaissance. If a defender unit is spotted, air mobile rapid deployment units and satellite artillery are used to pin down and destroy them. Yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed in a lot of science fiction and other similar stories, that it's very often the case that garrisons of a planet will be tiny, nowhere near big enough to deal with any sort of coordinated rebellion on that single planet, and just enough to hold strategic locations. Because of that, it being impractical to garrison the whole thing. Which, if you're operating on a space scale with the consequential exponential increase in population, then it does make sense you wouldn't want to try and garrison entire worlds, because then you would have basically a hostile empire that could conquer like 4 star systems in a war at best, if they each only had a single habitable planet in them. Which is not really so fun for the narrative, is it? Krogan. Military doctrine. Traditional Krogan tactics were built on attritional mass unit warfare. Equipped with cheap, rugged gear, troop formations were powerful but inflexible. Command and control was very centralized. Soldiers in the field who saw a target contacted their commanders behind the lines to arrange fire support. Since the Genophage, the Krogan can no longer afford the casualties of the old Horde attacks. The Battle Masters are a match for any 10 soldiers of another species. To a Battle Master, killing is a science. They focus on developing a clean, brute force economy of motion that exploits their brutal strength to incapacitate enemies with a swift single blow of overwhelming power. This change of focus from mass unit warfare to maximal efficiency has increased employment demand in the fields of security and muscle for hire. Due to the unsavory reputation of the Krogan, most of these jobs are on the far side of the law. Battle Masters are not spit and polish, but they do believe in being well armed and equipped, preferably with a gun for each limb. They are callous and brutal, but methodical and disciplined. They use any means at their disposal to achieve their goals, no matter how reprehensible. Hostage-taking and genocide are acceptable means to ensure a quiet occupation with few Krogan casualties. Well, don't these modern Krogan just sound lovely? The Krogan serving with Saren's forces appear to be returning to the old style of mass attritional combat. They also work in close cooperation with supporting Geth units, who fill the roles occupied by combat drones in other armies. Biotics are rare among the Krogan. Those that exist are viewed with suspicion and fear. The Krogan see this aura of fear as a useful quality for an officer, and often promote them. Combat drones and other high-tech equipment are likewise in short supply. And finally, we have one more entry under Council races for Solarian biology. Solarians are noted for their high-speed metabolism, which allows them to function on just 1 hour of sleep a day. Their minds and bodies work faster than most sapient races, making them seem restless or hyperactive. The drawback of this active metabolism is a short lifespan of around 40 human years. The Solarians are amphibian haplodiploid egg layers. Unfertilized eggs produce males, and fertilized eggs produce females. Once a year, a Solarian female will lay a clutch of a dozen eggs. Of dozens of eggs, even. Social rules prevent all but a fraction from being fertilized. As a result, 90% of the species is male. Solarians have photographic memories and rarely forget a fact. They also possess a form of psychological imprinting, tending to defer to those they knew in their youth. Solarian hatching is a solemn ritual in which the clan Delatras, or matriarch, isolates herself with the eggs. The young Solarians psychologically imprint on her and tend to defer to her wishes. During the hatching of daughters, the Delatrases of the mother and father's clans are present at the imprinting. This ensures the offspring have equal loyalty to both, ensuring the desired dynastic and political unity. And we also have one for Turian religion, apparently, that I almost missed. Although Turians have a strict moral code, their belief in individual responsibility means that the concepts of good and evil are simply the individual's choice between egotism and altruism. In any given decision, they have no concept of good deities that encourage noble behavior, or evil ones that tempt individuals to misdeeds. Turians believe that groups and areas have spirits that transcend the individual. For example, a military unit would be considered to have a literal spirit that embodies the honor and courage it has displayed. A city's spirit reflects the accomplishments and industry of its residents. An ancient tree's spirit reflects the beauty and tranquility of the area it grows within. These spirits are neither good nor evil, nor are they appealed to for intercession. Turians do not believe spirits can affect the world, but spirits can inspire the living. Prayers and rituals allow an individual to converse with a spirit for guidance or inspiration. For example, a Turian who finds his loyalty tested may appeal to the spirit of his unit, hoping to reconnect with the pride and honor of the group. A Turian who wishes to create a work of art may attempt to connect with the spirit of a beautiful location. Turians enjoy absolute freedom of religion and can practice whatever appeals to them so long as it does not impede anyone's ability to perform their duties. There are many practitioners of the Asari Ciarist philosophy. In its opening dialogue with the Human Systems Alliance, some Turians have embraced Confucianism and Zen Buddhism. Okay. There's something about the idea of a Buddhist Turian that I find just a little bit hilarious. The only thing more chuckle-worthy than that would be Christian Turians. Don't ask me why, I just find the idea hilarious. Anyways, after adding on that little bit of codex reading there, that's gonna do it for this episode. And when we come back for next time, we will finally be doing the DLC. The last major bit of content we have left before we move on to Vermeer. So next time, it's off to bring down the sky. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.